Thank you. Thank you. Just as we continue, we're looking at Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and it says that we know that all things work together for good for two people, two class of people, those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose. And we're trying to define who are these people. First of all, we started by saying that those who love God are not just those in the church, right? Because being born again is not equal to loving God, right? It's not those who feel like or have emotion around it, because God is spirit, and there's nothing about emotions that talks about love for God. When it comes to love, it has nothing to do with emotion. The only definition the Bible tells us how we love God is by obeying his commandments. That's the only way I know whether you love God or not. What you do, the decisions you make, what you do, what you enjoy doing. That's the only way I can know whether you love God or not. So the Bible is saying those that love God, those that obey his commandment, those that have an affinity towards him, right, are the people who are being defined here, right? So the question is, Apostle Paul, before he got born again, before he met Jesus Christ, did he love God? Did he love God before he met Jesus Christ? It's an open floor. Did the Apostle Paul love God before he met Jesus Christ?
He did. He loved God, but he didn't understand the ways of God, new ways of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He loved God. He just didn't understand the perfect way. Same thing goes with Apollos. Apollos loved God, but just didn't understand the perfect way. He wasn't well knowledgeable about the ways of the kingdom, but he loved God, right? Paul loved God. And those are the kind of people God run after. See, there are two classes of people that are not born again. The people that are innocently ignorant, and there are people that are willfully ignorant. God will never waste his time to go after the willful ignorant. God will go out of his way to chase the innocent ignorant. We see that also in Judas and Peter. Jesus never told us he prayed for Judas, but he told us he prayed for Peter. Both of them were plagued by the devil, but he prayed for Peter. The Bible doesn't tell us he prayed for Judas, and the Bible doesn't tell us, we cannot assume that he did pray for Judas. We can only assume he did not, because the Bible did not tell us about it. So why did Jesus pray for Peter and not for Judas? Peter was ignorantly, let me use the word, free word, ignorantly stupid. Judas was willfully stupid. So when your will is engaged, God cannot force you to do anything against your will. You read through the Old Testament, all the sacrifice that God ordinated were all for people that were innocently commit offense, not the ones that willfully commit offense. Am I correct? Anyone read anything different in the Old Testament? Am I correct? Am I wrong?
No, you're correct. The disobedience, even for Adam and Eve, Adam was held responsible because he was the one that was giving the commandment. Yes. And Eve was, she was ignorantly, maybe let's say she was naive.
That's correct, and that's written in the Bible. The Bible says that Adam willfully hates the fruit. Eve was deceived. Right? The Bible says Eve was deceived, but Adam was not deceived. Right? Eve was deceived. Adam was not deceived. Adam knew the consequence and ate the fruit. Eve did not know the consequence. In a sense, she was deceived. But Adam was not deceived. Adam knew the consequence of what he was doing. And that's probably what makes it more grievous, as it were. Eve was deceived, no doubt. We're not trying to justify our sin anyway. We're just trying to bring out two differences. Eve was deceived. Adam was not. Adam knew the consequence of what he was doing for whatever reason he did it. Maybe out of love for Eve, maybe to join Eve. But the Bible clearly tells us that Adam was not deceived. Eve was deceived. Right? And God makes a difference between those two classes. God would do anything to chase after the man that is ignorant. But if you know and you decide not to follow him, God will not waste 1 second on you. But we'll continue tomorrow. Our time is over. Let me take your time more than that. All right. Any other thing to add to it? We didn't get to our point yesterday, but we'll hopefully get to it tomorrow. I'm not in a hurry.
Okay.
Or we'll get to it. But any other thing to add? Go ahead.
Because I missed some days, I wanted to find out the relationship between what we are saying now and the book of Daniel that we started with. I didn't know
the correlation. Yes, the correlation is that in verse 2, the Bible says that God handed over Jehoiakim to Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was only able to defeat Jehoiakim because God handed him over to Nebuchadnezzar. So therefore, we said that everything that happens in the physical realm is determined by what happens in the invisible realm. Right? Then we said there are some things that God has already decided, as it were, right, that we cannot change. There are some things that we can change, right? And there are some things that God has already decided that we cannot change. There are some things that we can change. Then we'll put all of that to Romans 8 here, where some people talk about once saved, forever saved. That some people are predestined to be saved, some people are not predestined to be saved. And that we came here just to clarify all of that. The only reason we're coming here is just to clarify the fact that is it true that some people cannot be saved? Is it that God, heaven has already decided some people cannot be saved?
No.
So that's what we're trying to clarify in all of this. You get it?
Yeah.
We're just trying to understand that part, because all of this makes a difference for us when we go into the place of prayer. Because if I know that God has already made a decision in this area, why should I waste my head to pray? So I know what to pray for, what not to pray for. Then when I'm praying with confidence, knowing that there's still mercy, right? The other two things that will come up as we talk more about this are the two words, judgment and mercy, right? There are some things that God has already closed the case. He has judged it. In Ezekiel, I believe it's 14:14. He says that even if Noah, even if Daniel, I mentioned the third name, come and pray about this, I will not hear. So there are some things that he has already closed the case. There are some things that we can still ask for mercy on.
Yes.
And we need to know the difference between all of that. That's what we're trying to resolve. Is that clear?
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right. So we'll continue tomorrow. Don't let me take more of our time. Have a great afternoon. Let me know the afternoon. All right. Yeah, bye-bye. God bless. Thanks, Pastor Shegun.